Ancient Hindu mythology describes a specific daily routine for Lord Vishnu across his four earthly domains. His day begins in the high peaks of the Himalayas, where he takes his morning bath at the temple of Badrinath. From the mountains, he travels west to the shores of Gujarat. At the intricately carved temples of Dwarka, he puts on his divine garments. By evening, he heads to the southern tip of India. He reaches Ranashrung to rest and recuperate within these massive, illuminated stone corridors. But the most vital stop is on the eastern coast, in the city of Puri. This is where the Lord resides and eats, turning this ancient port into a place often described as Vaikunta, or heaven on earth. Because Puri is considered the Lord's primary earthly home, visitors naturally expect the central deity inside to be the most magnificent, classically perfect stone idol in all of India. However, the reality inside the inner sanctum looks nothing like the surrounding stone grandeur. The deities are made of wood, tainted in heavy, unnatural colors with a distinct tribal aesthetic. First-time observers are often struck by a specific physical anomaly. These supreme gods are completely missing their hands and legs. The sister, Subhadra, sits in the center without limbs. Her two brothers, Jagannath and Balabhadra, possess only small, blunt wooden stumps extending from their shoulders. Why would the ultimate deity of such a massive, opulent temple be housed in an unfinished wooden body? This physical state is actually a permanent record of a secret history involving ancient espionage, a stolen god, and a royal family's disastrous impatience. Before the Great Temple existed, this deity was known as Nil Madhav. He was worshipped in total secrecy by the Sabar Adivasi, a forest-dwelling tribe who kept their god hidden from the outside world. When King Indradumna heard of this hidden god, he became obsessed. After seeing the deity in a dream, he resolved to take it from the forest and bring it to his own kingdom. To find the location, the king sent a Brahmin spy named Vidyapati to infiltrate the tribe. Vidyapati married the tribal chief's daughter for the sole purpose of discovering the secret cave where Nilmadava was kept. The plan worked, and Vidyapati stole the idol. But as the tribal chief fell into a deep, agonizing grief over the loss of his god, the stolen idol suddenly vanished from the king's hands. This disappearance forced a shift in the power dynamic. The king realized that his royal authority was useless without the cooperation of the tribal lineage that had guarded the deity for generations. The god eventually offered the king a second chance, but only on his terms. A grand temple had to be built, and the deity would manifest as a massive wooden log floating in from the sea. In a final act of humbling, the king's strongest men were unable to lift the divine log. It only moved when the Sabar tribal chief was brought in to help, proving the god still belonged to his original worshippers. To carve the wood, a celestial architect named Vishwakarma arrived, disguised as an old man. He agreed to the job on one condition: he must be left in total, undisturbed isolation for 21 days. For days, the sound of carving echoed through the halls. But when the queen heard the noise stop, she panicked, fearing the old man had died. She forced the doors open before the 21 days were over. Breaking that contract had an immediate consequence. The architect vanished instantly, leaving the wooden idols frozen in their unfinished state forever. King Indrayudma accepted the result. He chose to enshrine these limbless figures, recognizing their incomplete state as the intentional will of the god. This acceptance shaped the city's very layout. Ancient texts mapped out a blueprint for Puri designed around these deities. The city follows the geometry of a right-handed conch shell. The sea acts as the belly, while the temple sits at the navel. That ancient reconciliation survives in the modern day. To honor the god's origins, Brahmin priests and tribal Dayatapatis still co-manage the temple's daily rituals side by side. These wooden forms serve as a deliberate bridge between the forest and the palace. Their unfinished appearance remains a permanent reminder that for millions of devotees, divine presence doesn't require a classically perfect shape.